Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Skies of Arcadia, where last time, everything went bananas. Gaussian has gone rogue, the admirals are divided, and I've got to break into this Valuan base to steal the schematics that are gonna let me get down to the mysterious surface deep underneath Arcadia. So, let's jump in because we've got a lot to do today. Still, bare minimum, we do have one advantage, and that is every single Valuan base in the world is built with gigantic air ducts that I can just run through to avoid trouble. And on top of that, I can spy on various people too. So alright, I can hear someone nearby talking. Moon energy system operating within normal parameters. Power supply to the entire base is flowing smoothly. Alright, inspection for this area is done. Let's get to the next one. So, okay, we might be able to start tinkering with the power. And you may notice meanwhile down at the bottom right, we do have a schematic for the area I'm currently infiltrating. Though, yes, the floor plan is for, the floor. I'm currently in the air ducts above it, meaning if I just go over to these various lovely holes in the floor, I can figure out what's going to be in the various rooms ahead of time. And also, spy on yet more elite guards. Though these ones are just, reaffirming what this base is for. Building an elevator that goes all the way down into the deep sky. My mum told me when I was a kid the deep sky is the land of the dead. So, okay, some people might be a bit suspicious of that. And remember, this room up here, in the top left of these 6 that you can just see on the schematic on the bottom right there, that's got guards in it. So, yeah, if you want to, spy ahead and whatnot, you're welcome to do so. Because some of these rooms contain treasure, some of them contain guards instead. Still, no need to worry about that for now, because, okay, I was about to say we need to, shut off these fan blades. I feel like I could just, walk through these without it being too difficult, in fact. They're really not going that fast, Device, you're really overthinking this. And just further and further around the air ducts, okay. Once again, people are very conveniently talking about very important things. So, these schematics that Lord Loco made, with this new design, his ship's supposed to be able to fly into deep sky. So, right, that we most definitely need to go and get. So yeah, just poke around the air ducts, you can overhear all sorts of secrets in all sorts of rooms. But eventually, yes, just to make your way back over to, the proper power room and whatnot. And hello there, sexy, I think I've seen you before. So just, kill the power, kill the lights, kill the fans, etc, etc. So, straight past the fan, keep on keeping on, and now we can get into the base proper. The trick in this area being, yes, making sure you use the information you got from the air vents to go through the right door, because if you go through the wrong one, there might just be guards waiting for you. And of course we are in a dungeon anyway, so we are going to be running into the odd guards here and there, and okay, when I say the odd guards, yes, also tanks. There can just be tanks here. Probably not as bad as, the one we fought back in the Grand Fortress, but still, it's a tank. Tanks are never going to be nothing. Okay, let's see what, Vise with Cutlass Fury could do to this guy, and 1,500. So, okay, not quite enough for a kill, even on 2. Yeah, as the game goes on, tougher and tougher enemies are going to start showing up more and more frequently. What used to be bosses might start showing up all the bloody time. Still, with Glyph of Might now in play, yeah, if we just set you in position, you guys just guard for the moment, and then we also use a Royal Blade, that should be enough to get the kill. So, okay, you've now been a Glyph of Might, so that's a big power increase. In fact, didn't even need Royal Blade. Lovely. So, yes, there will just be the odd tank showing up in just a day-to-day encounters these days. Okay, if we go this way, I think based on, yes, what we witnessed previously, this is going to take me to, yes, the many storerooms. So, this is where paying attention to what you saw in the vents is going to be very useful, and I was about to say I'm pretty sure this is a room that's got a treasure chest in it, but no it didn't, it just had guards in it. So right, now we need to deal with guards apparently. In all fairness, yeah, Omega Cyclone mixed with a Pyram box can probably deal with this pretty well. Here we go, just a nuke at the base, that's absolutely fine. And yeah, not enough for a kill, these guys are pretty well armoured. They're also tossing poison gasters, so decent damage, probably a good chance of poisoning, we got lucky on the roll there, so yeah. Everything in this base is going to be hitting pretty hard. Maybe just avoid the elite guards as far as possible. Still, this should be more than enough to finish them off. And, yeah, at this point, honestly, the problem with Omega Cyclone is, yeah, Venus magic can do way more damage than Omega Cyclone can. So probably I should just be using that, really. Okay, so that one had a guard net, but, like, I am 90% sure. There we go. Good. Good. This one didn't have a guard net. This was a chest, so there we go. Just a handful of sacrum crystals. Marvellous. And I think the next one along also didn't have a guard on the same side. But my memory's terrible for this sort of thing, so I'm not like, 100% or anything. No, I got it right on this occasion. Good. That's 4 grand. The last chest is the one I really want because the last chest has got a unique weapon in it, which we definitely want to grab. The problem is I can't remember where it is. So, right, we're just going to, like, be running into some guards right now, probably. There we flipping go. No trouble, guys. No trouble. In fact, you know what? Fina knows Pyrrolin right now. The ultimate fire spell. So, oh, go on, Fina. Give it a go. Okay, seriously, there are just, multiple spells and abilities that are basically just nuclear explosions in this game. I appreciate it, though. 800 damage to everyone on the field. That is not bad. Okay, I'm pretty sure, like, the first one nearest the door does have guards in it, which suggests to me this is going to be the room I wanted. Good, and Moonberry times 1. That's not what I was expecting, I'm going to be honest. Moonberries, we've got so many of them, game, it's fine. Okay, one more to go. It turns out there wasn't a guy in here, and there we go. That's what I wanted the entire time, the Imperial Blades. It's a big step up in power, though does that really even matter for Enrique? And yeah, it can silence enemies, so against mages, that's really good. Though honestly, Enrique, maybe you want to judge him more on what status condition he can impose. So, Confuse, for example, and Sleep, arguably much better. But, you know what? Sure, you can have the Imperial Blade. That feels appropriate, given it's the sword of the legitimate heir to the throne, and that is kinda you. Meanwhile, yeah, we've got a missing elevator on one side of the corridor, locked door on the other. So, nowhere to go but into here. Which, unless I've got myself a yes completely turned around, should lead to me in the direction of a yes, DeLoco schematics. Though not before passing by, right. There was mention of, building a giant elevator all the way down to deep sky. The problem is, just yet, yes, it's not finished. It's still, a bit of a work in progress. Still, a single distant tiny island hovering over a grand swirling maelstrom. Oh, this game is gorgeous on occasion. Right, don't worry about that for now. Keep on keeping on. Because yes, through the next door, now this looks about cocking right. We recognise this ship, of course, the Chameleon. We fought it on many occasions, in fact. So, okay, don't worry about the schematics just yet. Before we do anything, in fact, yes, mosey on down to the very cocking end of the room. Because there's a moonfish hidden up here right at the end of the walkway, and, okay, that should be a very special moonfish, because, unless I've missed something, that should be the last one in the game. That should be all of them, and, once you've got all of them, okay, that actually unlocks them more than you might expect. And on top of that, while we're down here, yes, we can admire DeLoco's brand new weapon, given he does put a new one on his boat every time we fight him. So, yes indeed, would you believe we're definitely going to be fighting DeLoco again, because he's developed something new to attack us with. Still, don't worry about that for now, just a mosey straight on back to, yes, the schematics table right here. Grab those, probably best we be on our way out of here. Because, as I say, there's a lot going on in this space. A lot of very important Valuans floating about. Still, bare minimum, we've now got everything we need. The hull, the engine, literally just hand that over to Brabham back at base and he can probably recreate this. Unfortunately, yeah, so speaking of Deloco, the chameleon, its modifications, etc, etc, yes, Gaussian is being given a tour by Deloco right now, and increase the speed of construction, finish it within the week. And yes, rather bad luck for us, obviously the bridge has got cocking windows, meaning Gaussian is now aware we're cocking here. Well, what do we have here? This time I'll be sure to dispose of you all permanently, so, okay. Gaussian now knows where we are, and he's coming for us himself. So, as I say, probably best we just get out of here, like, right now. No more looting and no more treasure hunting and no more anything. Let's just get the cock out of Dodge. And unfortunately, that's not gonna be an option. Gaussian's back and you know he means business because he's taken off his coat. So okay, it looks like we meet again. Not only once, but twice you escape from the Grand Fortress. Very impressive. However, do not think you'll escape a third time. And alright, Enrique steps forward. Gaussian, what is Valua planning to do by building a place like this? And if it isn't the little prince? Whatever Valua does, your highness, is no longer any of your concern, if I'm not mistaken. You were the one who threw away your responsibilities and sided with these, pirates. So okay, by the sounds of it, Enrique's been, you know, properly removed from the royal succession. And I did not throw away my responsibilities, I am working to rebuild the empire. And it matters not to me, I have no interest in Valua anymore. I shall dispose of you here, once and for all. So okay, last time we faced Gaussian, we had no choice but to just run away. But right now it looks like that's not gonna be an option. And that's not the only problem either. They's behind you. We've got another admiral coming in. It's good old Uncle Gregorio. It's been a while, Prince Enrique. And how ironic that fate has led us both here to pit sword against sword with each other. And do not worry, I am not here to fight you, so alright. Gregorio might just be about to do us a favour. Instead, he walked straight on past. And Gregorio, you understand the consequences of your actions. And Lord Gaussian, it appears that you do not understand the consequences of yours. You wish to revive the ancient horrors and use them to make the world your own. And I cannot sit back and watch you destroy the world, so alright, we've got ourselves a friend! Prince Enrique, you spoke the truth when we last met at Esperanza. The Empire has chosen the wrong path. You and Vi's are the only ones that can stop the Armada. Prince Enrique, let my last act be in your honour. And with that, he spins round and knocks us through the side door. Meaning, unfortunately, yes, he's not going to allow us to fight by his sides. I will hold him off, escape while you can. Because yes, indeed, Gregorio knows full well, even all of us together could not beat Gaussian. You must not take Gaussian lightly, he is more powerful than you can possibly imagine. And this is a military base of the Armada. If you don't escape soon, we will all be surrounded. If you die here, the world will be doomed. Go. Our last hopes lie with you, young prince. I earned the nickname Iron Wall Admiral. I won't let him pass me. And I will be able to die defending you. I cannot ask for a higher honor.
Well.
And with that, the door slams shut, and Gregorio willingly gives his life so we can escape. Gregorio, have you made your peace? And I am ready to die, Lord Gaussian, but I shall die defending my people against a tyrant. And alright, Gregorio gets a bloody good hero sacrifice death, damn it, so, okay. Best we can do is probably, you know, honour his sacrifice and get the cock out of Dodge. Straight back in the vent, past the fans, etc, etc, time to get out of here. So, straight back to the lifeboat, hop inside, and away we go. We have successfully escaped. Though understandably, yes, it's a bit of, a sad escape for Enrique, given he did refer to Gregorio as his uncle. Speaking of which, back inside the base, yes. As expected, Gregorio knew he couldn't win. He never intended to. Lord Gaussian, what's going on? And send him back to Valua, and make sure his body is well taken care of. It is worth more than your life, so, okay. Gaussian may have gone, slightly bananas and wants to, be dominant over the moons and whatever. But bare minimum, he does seem to, deeply like and respect Gregorio. And there we go, back on the ship, job done. So, okay, we could head back to, Crescent Isle immediately, but there's something far more important I want to turn my attention to first. Okay, Doc, unless I've made, a very big mistake, I suspect me and you have a lot to cocking talk about. So, step 1, just start tossing a fish into the wonderful, delightful, and increasingly gigantic bird monstrosity. And for the time being, right, we're just getting a handful more rewards. So, okay, given we've just been given the marksman's gun, yes, would you believe there might just be an opportunity coming down the line to welcome Gilda back into the party if that's what we want to do? Seriously though, there is just something slightly unnerving about Piccolo, he may be too big at this point now, he's starting to get genuinely a tiny bit unnerving. It's good to know that Doc's acknowledging this too, because yes, at this point if Piccolo starts running around, he might just break the entire cocky boat. It's not a big ship. So, Doc, now that we're, doing a story bit and whatnot, let's have a bit more of a chat about, Maria and you and all the rest of it. In return for the fish, I'll tell you the rest of my story. It's hard for me to talk about, but if Maria can be strong enough to get over her past, I can't sit here and dwell on mine. I guess I've finally become strong enough to realise that. And here we flipping go. It's time for the tragedy that befell Ramirez. Depend on a person too much, and they will betray your trust sooner or later. Or so Gaussian told Ramirez. Maybe that hit a bit too close to home, I don't know. But for whatever reason, Ramirez began to snoop around for information regarding Mendoza. And that's when we found out. The Mendoza was using the Ixtacans as slaves for his own personal profit. He forced the Ixtacans to work a few extra hours here and there, and pocketed all the extra moonstones that they found for himself. The shock of this discovery was almost too much for Ramirez to bear. He went straight to Admiral Mendoza and confronted him. My lord, is it true? Is it true about the moonstones and the Ixtacan slaves? And I won't lie to you, yes, it's true. But what's the problem? Is there something wrong with making money, with desiring a wealth and power? And you are forcing the Ixtacans to work grueling hours in inhumane conditions. My lord, you promised me. You told me you would speak to Her Majesty in regards to the way the Ixtacans were being treated. And you truly are naive, aren't you? What exactly do you think would have happened if I did that? Her Majesty would find out about my little scheme, and I would basically be signing my own death warrants. And how? How could you lie to me like that? And it is quite unfortunate that things had to turn out this way, Ramirez. And to think I thought of you as a son. Regardless, you have uncovered my plans and have left me with no choice. Guards, seize him. And everything. All that I believed in. And oh dear, I think possibly Ramirez might be about to have a bit of a moment. By the time I got there, it was already too late. The guards, even Admiral Mendoza, they had all fallen under Ramirez's blades. Ramirez, what have you done? And I'm sorry, Doc, but I can no longer trust humans. I can no longer remain here. And Ramirez, where are you going? Goodbye, Doc. The Ramirez that you knew is no more. He died the moment I drew my blade against Admiral Mendoza. From now on, I will only believe in strength. I shall only follow those with power. And wait, Ramirez! But yes, unfortunately, I feel like yes, that was most definitely the moment that turned Ramirez from who he used to be into who he is now. Ramirez! And so Ramirez went to Gaussian's side, and I believe you know the rest of the story. I'd spent so much time with both Mendoza and Ramirez, and yet I could do nothing to stop this tragedy from happening. If I only had the strength to stop him, Mendoza, Ramirez, even Maria, all their lives would have turned out so differently. Still, he does see one upside. I think it's a blessing I was able to save Maria from the burning wreckage of the Aquila. And alright, Aquila, that name. And wait a second there, Fina. You don't think? And yes, indeed, I heard some air pirates that were passing through the area helped to save most of the crew after we left. And Doc, Maria wouldn't happen to have an older sister, would she? And actually, she did. Did I forget to tell you that? And you mentioned it in passing, but not in great detail. And yes, if you were really paying attention this entire time, you may have already been able to piece together some of what we're about to figure out. Unfortunately, she went missing after the accident. No one knows what happened to her. Poor Piastol. So, yes indeed. It turns out that several of the stories we've been hearing this entire time were actually just a single story told from different perspectives. It's bothered me for years that I couldn't save her too. There's no doubt about it, Maria and Piastol are long-lost sisters. So alright, we've got to tell Piastol, but okay, let's just say she might not necessarily be in a listening mood. She's really more of a stab and now talk later kind of person. Not just yet though, not just yet. Come back here, Doc, I've got more fish for you yet. And if we're lucky, yes, I should now be able to feed it every moonfish. Because if I don't feed it every moonfish and a special thing doesn't happen at the end of this feeding session, then okay, basically I've forgotten one and I don't know which one it's going to be, so that's going to be fun to figure out. Here we go, a whole bunch of new weapons, a Hydra Wing, a Silver Arm, a Serpent Strike, magnificent. Oh, and here we flipping go, something good is happening. And on this occasion, oh yeah, oh flipping yeah, he's evolved once again, his wings are bigger and I think the lad can now properly cocking fly. So wow, he just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Though unfortunately, yes, the story does have, you know, a bit of a bittersweet ending because, you know, when we first started feeding this bird, it was just a lost chick. But now, it's all grown up, its wings are grown, it can fly, and Piccolo's decided he wants to go home. And Doc agrees. I think he has a point. If we don't return him to nature, he'll never find any of his own kind, let alone find someone to marry and, okay, bit of an odd way to phrase that, Doc, but sure I suppose, maybe there's a concept of marriage in the Hamachu species, who cocking knows? The only thing that's keeping me worried is, if this guy leaves, Maria might fall into depression again. Uncle Doc, I'll be fine. So okay, Maria is in fact going to be very brave because I think she knows this is the right thing for her friend Piccolo. Ever since Daddy and my sister went away, I've been so lonely, and I think that Piccolo feels lonely too. I'm going to miss him, but I think he should go home so he won't be lonely anymore. I have you and Vi to take care of me too, I don't have to be lonely. So, okay, Maria has, yes, really come a long way from the girl who was barely able to speak the first time we met her. And there we flipping go, Piccolo is off on his own personal adventure to go and find all of his friends, and I particularly like, you know, that he's got actual tiny human arms that he's also flapping along with his wings. So, okay, Piccolo's just a bloody star.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Piccolo. Be nice to your new friends and come back and see me sometime. And there we go. Piccolo's off to find other Hamachu all around the world, which is just delightful. You know, you spend the whole game just feeding this bird and eventually he gets to fly off and live his own life. That's just bloody lovely. And what's even better as he disappears off into the distance is, yes, once he's fully grown, that's actually officially a discovery. Thanks to Air Pirate Vice and his friend Doc, the mysteries of the Moon Hamachu have finally been solved. Once fed to Moonfish, the Moon Hamachu will undergo a metamorphosis and will eventually return home to its nest. This discovery will go down in history, so yes indeed, basically all the tiny Hamachu that we saw in Yafutoma they were just a baby Hamachu. This is in fact the adult form. And with that done, we have now wrapped up all our business with the moonfish, but that doesn't mean we're quite completely 100% done with Doc and Maria just yet. After all, there's a couple of things I do want to, just very quickly draw attention to. Number one, a discovery we ran into just last episode. Here we go, the Valuan wreckage. So, okay, this is a crashed Valuan ship. Right here in mid-ocean, same bit of ocean where, you find Maria, and you find Piastol when she does show up, that does very specifically say that yes, this boat went down under mysterious circumstances, including a murder attempt on the commander of the Armada. So, okay. I'm not entirely sure whether this is supposed to be understood as the very same boat that the whole incident with Maria, Piastol, Ramirez, etc. occurred on. The problem is, it says 20 years ago, and that can't be correct, because we know from Piastol, these events happened 7 years ago. But I don't think this is just a mistake. Someone just put that number in without really thinking about it that hard, because it just feels like too much of a coincidence for this not to be the, Mendoza, Maria, Piastol, Ramirez dock boat, okay? I am convinced that this is the wreckage that event happened on. It's just, someone put the wrong number in by mistake. And next up, just back into a conventional sky to say hello to Sailor's Island nice and quick. Because one, there's some good money to be made from, selling discoveries and whatnot. I've got so many discoveries to sell. And I would strongly imagine if I try and, leave and whatnot. Oh yeah, here we flippy go. The black spot is back, so Piastol wants to talk. By which I mean fight and then talk afterwards. Ah yes, and that does remind me. So, okay. The Imperial Blade, Enrique's been using it for approximately 45 seconds, and it's time to toss it in the garbage, because, okay. The Serpent Strike, given to us by the Hamachu, is a powerful sword used by warriors of the Silver Civilization, meaning it can turn enemies to stone. Oh yeah, Serpent Strike, we'll be going over to that. Right, that's all set, back into open sky, and just keep a lookout for, hang on. That's my destination. Yes, it most definitely is. So, right. Piastol, me and you need to have words, because I've just learned something very cooking important about your family. Visor, this will be our final battle, and okay, Piastol, chill out. Okay, just wait a second. We've got so much important stuff to tell you. I literally know who killed your dad, what happened that night, and that your sister's alive, and approximately 60 seconds in that direction, but okay. I don't think she's going to listen. So here we flippy go. One last fight to take out Piastol and her small dog, who delightfully shows up every single time. I do like her small dog. However, we've got to be very bloody careful because, yes, Piastol does add a new tool to her arsenal every time you fight her again, and her final tool is the last ultimate piece of silver death magic. She now knows a spell that, if it hits, is guaranteed to kill, unless the magic is blocked, or you've got some sort of, accessory that blocks the instant death condition. So, yeah. Basically, we have got to keep Delta Shield up, all the time, at least until we understand what rhythm she's getting into. So, okay. For the time being, until we know what she's doing at first at least, I'm just doing a basic attack, just to see how strong her pet is. And yeah, just for the start of the fight here, do nothing but yeah, Delta Shield, and then make sure Vise gets powered up with a little bit of a beautiful glyph of might. Magnificent. You go over to Red 2. I do like the Serpent Strike, by the way. That's a good, badass looking weapon. But yeah, for now, just a shield, because without that, I'm pretty sure she'll be able to one-shot Fina with a Tempest Dance. So, okay. She generally won't do the same thing, in a row. So, once we start figuring out, what she does first and what she's going to do next, we might be able to gamble a bit better. So, Delta Justice, just to start us off for now. Beautiful. Basic attack. Not bad, though, yeah. Obviously, she's going to be... oh, never mind. Okay, the dog's learned some new tricks too. Bloody good. We went for, Delta Justice, because that dog attempted to, poison literally all of us in one go. And yeah, Vice moves in. A good little starting shot there. Very nice. Okay, at this point, we're probably fine to, just start kicking off with a lovely Cutlass Fury. And yeah, if the dog's going to try and poison us, play it very defensively, at least until the bloody dog's dead. So, do I want Crystalline? You know what? I would like the dog to go down. Once there's only one on the field, this will be a lot more manageable. So, Crystalline and then Justice Shields. So, okay, we're nice and protected. Here comes Deluge. That's not so bad. That's just everyone for... never mind, it's got nastier. It has definitely got nastier, and the dog is being very aggressive too. Any chance we could stone the dog? We could not stone the dog, that's a shame. But, bare minimum, go in. And there's a good 3,000 damage. So, right. If we're lucky... okay, we're never going to finish off the dog, and not with Crystalline, and that's going to do like 1,000 to max or something. Yeah, 800 odd. So, okay. The dog is definitely going down. Problem is, yeah... if I want Fina to do the healing, because, I could keep using Delta Shield, which I do. Okay. Even with Justice Shield, if she does Tempest Dance in the direction of, say, Fina or Ica, I feel like she could still kill them through Justice Shields. But I don't think she's going to Tempest Dance because she just did an S move. So, I suspect she's about to do magic. But I'm not willing to, bet my life on it, so I'm still gonna Justice Shield for now. And yeah, Fina is on a healing duty for the time being. Just, play very defensively for the time being. Just get all my shields up, no trouble. No trouble at all. I just love the giant Dreamcast lollipop. And the bag with Ica's name on it. And also strawberries, for some reason. I don't know why there's strawberries on it. There we go. I thought she might use magic. Eternum. That would have been a guaranteed kill. It cannot miss. The ultimate magic and... okay. Sacrum. Which means he's also healing himself. But I think that doesn't matter. Because, yes, Vice is going to do so much damage. That should be a kill anyway. And there we go. The dog goes down. So, right. That's much better. Because the dog was, yes, a lot more dangerous during this fight. Right, over to a purple weaponry, and now just start working on Piastol, and, okay, she just did some magic. So I'm gonna say I can, gamble and do a tiny bit of focusing for the time being. So just a focus, just a shield, and we can start moving towards Pirate's Wrath, because I don't think she's gonna do magic 2 turns in a row. Generally, she will alternate. And if she does do magic, it'll be, there we go, Tempest Dance. You can sort of predict her, just based on the fact that, yes, she doesn't like to do the same thing back to back. And this is going to be powerful, and it does get stronger and stronger, but Vice is good defensively. He has got a lot of health, and Justice Shield was up. So, honestly, yeah, that's pretty much as good a target as we could hope for. That's not bad at all. So, we've got a good, solid amount of focusing right there. And even better, we do get to go straight in and do some damage. Though, yeah, she picks up a lot of health by the end of the game. We can afford to do Pirate's Wrath. She may well magic. I definitely want Delta Shield up. In which case, probably best, yes, we Sacralin to Vice. Because we need him to not die. That's important. And I'm using Justice Shield anyway, because it would be dangerous not to. Okay, pretty much the best thing she can do, she's cracking out Valuan. Even if I hadn't had, the shield up, that would not have done much. So, here we go, a Pirate's Wrath. 6,000 damage. Good. One more of them should do the job. So, yeah. Bit of a dicey fight at first. The dog was a lot more dangerous than he had been previously. But, I'd say at this point, we've got a number. And I'm even willing to, take the gamble she's not going to magic again and just focus up. I think we're now in a position where we can afford to do that. But she's probably thinking of, Tempest Dance, to be honest. And, just defend ourselves in case she is. And on this occasion, I was thinking she might be thinking of that. So, she's gone for Vi's twice in a row. Which, you know, feels appropriate given she's obsessed with taking out Vi's. By the way, you may or may not have noticed this, but the animation does get increasingly elaborate every time we fight, which I find delightful. So, move in for, yes, a lovely Cutlass Fury, so that's a good amount of damage right there. Good. And yeah, I'm hoping we can finish her off with one more attack right now. So, she's just used, Temper's Dance. That means there's a good chance she's going to do magic. I'm going to go for, yes, the Pirate's Wrath. I'm definitely going to Delta Shield. And then, okay. I'm going to try and drop some healing on Vi's, though probably the fight will be over before it actually goes through. And we can just afford just a shield anyway, and we definitely should, just in case she goes bananas, and you know, does something I'm not expecting. And okay, she's gone for, yes, an S move, but not the Tempest Dance. Honestly, that's fine. Vi's is looking a little bit dicey, but yeah, to my mind, you know, the hardest to fight in the game against her is probably the first one. That one could be a nightmare once you get set up correctly with, you know, the captain's hat, all sorts of other bonuses for Vi's. It's not so bad, so here we go, we're kicking your ass, but I promise you it's for your own good. We know where your cooking sister is, Piastol. And that was worth a cocking 9,000 odd experience too, blimey, so almost everybody levels up on this occasion, marvellous. And on top of that, we get ourselves a brand new item, the Light Dress. Okay, Piastol, you are going to sit there and listen while we explain your own cocking backstory to you. However, it turns out, I know you weren't lying. Then why are you still fighting us? And if it wasn't you air pirates that took my father's life, then what have the last 7 years of my life been for? So, okay, Piastol's got some stuff to work through by the sounds of it. For what reason have I fought, alone, all these long years? I lost my reason for living? No, it was wrong for me to only live for revenge in the first place. And that's why I thought I deserved to die by your hand, to cleanse myself of this lie that I have lived. So, right, she was basically hoping that we would kill her. Okay, let's just, you know, cut to the point here. Piastol, near Sailor's Island, there's a small doctor ship. Go find it, Doc and your sister Maria are aboard that ship. And what? If you're lying to me, I shall make you pay with your life. And, okay, you say that, but you've tried 4 times and it's not gone well for you on any occasion. And come on, relax, Piastol, just go and see them already. So, okay, Piastol's being very dramatic about this. I could just want her to, you know, go and say hi. After all, we did just hear that Maria was, you know, maybe going to be a tiny bit lonely, saying goodbye to her old friend Piccolo. So, I'd say a brand new big sister could be just what she needs. And naturally, if we just mosey back in the direction of Sailor's Island over here, we do of course get one last scene on Doc's ship. And oh hey, it's Vi's. Thanks for stopping by. I don't have much to offer in way of comforts, but you're free to stay as long as you wish. And I almost forgot to tell you, Piastol came by the other day. And here we go, a flashback time and... okay, Piastol, maybe I would have put on something like, you know, a tiny bit more casual before introducing yourself to your little sister again. But sure, go wearing the Angel of Death getup, I can't stop you. And alright, Maria turns around. Are you one of Uncle Doc's patients? And no, nothing like that. I was just passing by and thought I'd drop in. And okay, I see. So right, it might take, you know, Piastol a bit of time just to pluck up the courage to say precisely what's going on there. And were you looking for something out there? I saw you staring out at the sky. And yeah, my friend Piccolo's out there somewhere. I was just wondering how he was doing. And Piccolo used to live here, but he flew home to be with his friends. He's a bird, you know. I like Maria. Maria's great. And I see it must be lonely for you without him. And yeah, Piccolo and I like each other. We were both so lonely with no other friends. But he grew up and was able to go and see his friends. But Uncle Doc told me something. He told me I've got a big sister. And that my big sister is out there somewhere. flying through the skies. I wonder if I'll ever get to meet her. And alright, for once, Piastol is actually sort of smiling. And I'm sure you will. Someday you will. I just know it.
Yeah.
So okay, it might take, a bit of time for Piastol to be able to, tell the truth to Maria. But it's a good first step, damn it. And would it be okay if I came back, to talk with you again?
Yeah.
And of course, thank you. You don't know how much that means to me. Okay, definitely a good positive first step right there. I think she wants to get to know her little by little to ease back into things. Someday, they'll be family again. And Vise, I've heard about you and Ramirez from various rumours from sailors passing through. One of you, either you or Ramirez, is not walking away alive from this mess, which means I will lose one of my dear friends either way. Vise, just follow your instincts. Do what you have to. I know you're sailing the path that you feel is right. I get the feeling that deep down inside, Ramirez is doing the same. And we even get a bit of a hug from Doc, so... alright, by all accounts, and maybe, just maybe, there's still something good inside Ramirez. And with all that wrapped up, you might be wondering one thing, which is, John, where did Piccolo go? And unfortunately, there's not an easy answer to that. Because obviously, your first thought might be, John, Hamachu Island. The island you went and discovered that's literally filled with Hamachus. Obviously, you'll find him there. And as lovely as that would be, tragically no, Piccolo is not here. In fact, officially, Piccolo doesn't really appear in the game at all. When he flies off to find his own friends, well, he's just gone off to do his own thing. And according to the Discovery, he was a moon Hamachu, so I guess it's possible he flew to the moon. Though, okay, there is one possible thing that may be connected to Piccolo that we're going to get to later in the game, so just keep that in mind. We may possibly get to encounter something to do with Piccolo in the future. But yes, not just yet. Instead, for the time being, let's mosey on home to Crescent Isle, because, do not forget, we have got those incredibly important schematics that Gregorio gave his life for, and, okay, hang about, we've also got a flying train. That's of interest. Hang on, excuse me, come back here, mysterious flying train. You have found the Sky Train. Sometimes I'm taken by surprise by some of these discoveries myself. Like, many of them go on very convoluted routes and you just stumble across them by accident. While a railcar of a similar nature currently exists in Valua, this flying train is believed to have once carried passengers between the lands of the red, green and purple moons. Though no more passengers board, the Sky Train carries on anyway, so... okay, there's just a train on this occasion, doing its own thing. Nothing to worry about, I'm sure. There are various discoveries that, yes, go on very long convoluted routes around the map, so, yeah, they take a little bit of, tracking down, shall we say. Right, past Rainbow Island, which probably means it's about time to decrease altitude. And there we go, almost went straight past Crescent Isle that time. Dear oh flippin' dear. Okay, step one, problem. I have got yet more magnificent documents for you. I just love how every couple of weeks or so, I bring this guy a new set of documents that completely blow his mind. It's beautiful. So, he's going to jump straight in, but it is going to take him a handful of days to get done. Thankfully, we don't actually have to wait 10 days or anything. Instead, we're just going to get this done with a montage. Here we go, we get Marco working on the engine. Meanwhile inside, yes, obviously the problem is a crushing pressure down below. So we need to, secure up all the windows and whatnot. And don't forget, of course, yes, there's one personal tragedy that might be bothering one of my team members. Enrique, spending more and more time alone ever since Gregorio died. Looking back, losing Gregorio must have been the hardest thing that Enrique has ever faced. So, okay. Enrique might just be struggling a bit. Still, 10 days later, montage past all that in no time whatsoever. I remember lying awake in my bed for a long time before I finally fell asleep. And there we flippy go, it is now officially done, and I can't help but notice, by the way, Alright, we've got all sorts of, Yahoo Toman touches in our bedroom all of a sudden. Do not forget to check that out too. You know what? I'm not feeling it. I like the Yahoo Toman style in all sorts of ways, like I love the restaurant, but no. I'm not feeling like, it really works for the bunkhouse. So, okay. Ismail, can you, put it back to how it was, please? But once that's back to how it should be, I think we will finally have a base I consider done. Oh, and speaking of done, hang on. One very important thing to not forget. Obviously, we've upgraded Ilkemiss's shop and Osman's shop right here, but there's one shop that's still in its basic form. And finally, Ryukan is ready to make some improvements, damn it. So, okay, you want a legendary forge? You can have a legendary forge. 4 grand, cocky chicken feet, buddy. Right, we'll come check in with you in just a second. For the time being, though, just a mosey on downstairs and the work is done. And I do enjoy how, you literally get to watch a small test be done. So, Brabham signals to Marco. The lad is, properly understanding how to operate the Delphinus these days, which is delightful. So, yes, if we're going into high-pressure environments, we can literally seal the bridge. Begin, the proper submergence engine, etc., etc., and that makes the ship jiggle, which looks uncomfortable. To be honest, could we maybe smooth that out a bit? And just in case we didn't notice it previously, yes, nearby to Shrine Island, which is also nearby to Dangrel, that gigantic dark maelstrom we saw swirling previously. You can't just go down anywhere, there's only certain points where you could go down into deep sky. But first, however, alright, Enrique's got something to say. There's something important I need to talk to you about. I must return to Valua. I cannot travel with you any longer. This will be my last voyage with you aboard the Delphinus. So alright, Enrique, just like every other companion, has got his time to be with the team, and his time he needs to go and do his own thing. So, yes, on this occasion, Enrique needs to go and take care of his own business back in Valua. Gaussian and the Armada have freed themselves from the control of the Valuan Empire, and are now acting on their own free will. Gaussian probably has some sort of terrible scheme planned. I must return to Valua and report this news to my mother. He must be stopped. So okay, we're losing Enrique, but maybe, just maybe, he can do some good work back in Valua. And despite Taika's protests, yes indeed. Enrique knows the dangers, and I'm sure that my mother won't readily listen to anything I have to say. But I'm still the Prince of Valua. It is my duty to go.
Yes.
And okay, his girlfriend Mogi is not keen on this either. Oh, go on, Enrique, give her a hug. I will return, this I swear. Okay. So I feel like maybe... Okay, she's going in for the hug. Good. The hug's happening whether you want it to happen or not. And there we flipping go. Good. Good, good, good. Visor, after we get Phoenix' ship, could you bring me to Sailor's Island? I'll be able to borrow a ship there. And I hope you know what you're doing. So, alright. Our time with Enrique is nearly done. Still, we're not in a rush to, immediately get rid of Enrique or anything. After all, if we just immediately take off and then just go straight back into the island afterwards... Okay, Enrique, you're causing trouble now. I was about to say we could go and check out Ryukan's new exciting sexy forge, but apparently Enrique's not willing to let me do that. If I go back now, I'm afraid my determination will falter. I cannot allow myself to do that, so... right, for the time being, Enrique is rather annoyingly blocking me from going back home. Right, well in that case, probably best we mosey over to where he wants us to go. Here we go, back where we just began the episode, and... yes, you may notice in the meantime, progress has been made very fast by Gaussian's team. That elevator that had barely even started construction the last time we were here, it's now complete. They've got themselves, yes, a giant elevator running down in the direction of this secondary island. But let's not worry about that for now, because yes, there's nothing to stop us going directly into this gigantic gaping maw all by ourselves. So, Yes, indeed. Anytime we're ready, we can just go down to the vortex and finally see what's going on down on the surface. So, on that lovely cliffhanger, how about we wrap things up there? So, yes, indeed. Next time, we're going down to the bottom of the world. A concept that seems to, deeply confuse people who live in Arcadia. But, okay, let's just say things get a bit weird when you get down to the surface. So hopefully you join me next time for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Skies of Arcadia. Thank you very much, and goodbye. If we just hide the bodies, nobody needs to know about this. Yes! My stupid plan has worked! It turns out I'm a genius! The giant rat scorpion is not gone! Oh, hang on, there's more yet, though. I'm still being very shocked. Guys, where's the NCR? Nobody needs to know.